Hello YouTube. Right then, what we got is we've taken it apart and I've got the wheels here. Now I've done this to all the other parts already for the small parts, but this is what I've generally done. So I've got the wheel and I cleaned and washed it. Now that's the reverse side and that's the main side, see there. What I've done is I've washed it in soapy water, hot soapy water, and then let it dry for 2 days. I then got some of these. These are lens wipes. They're basically alcohol wipes. They're just pure alcohol. And I've used them. They come in nice little handy packs so you can keep them around, keep spectacles thin. I got these for 99p from Tesco's. And I use them on my on my helmet and glasses just to basically prevent smearing so I can actually see what I'm doing. But yeah, I just used these, ripped them off, and then cleaned the wheel as I need to. And then I've let that dry for about an hour. So plenty of time. Right, now for paint, on general parts, I haven't had to mask because I've taken the thing apart. But on the wheels, if you do this, put your thumb on the guard there, right round there, and fold it over. Put your thumb nail right in there, get that right in. I'll just pop that over there. That just protects the wheel. Just really press it down into the rim. Same on the other side. Just press it down, let it find its own way, and you're not fighting the tape. There we go. Done that. Right. And then what I've done is I've just put a Stanley knife blade around the edges. Just let it find its own way naturally. That's cool. Pop it in and then let it find, there we go. And then I've used this just to tape up the edges there, just extra. And here. And then what you do is you take your thumb and just use your nail just to guide it round to give it a nice clean edge. Now normally with paint you'd put a coat on, like a primer coat. With these, don't really need to scuff it up because I'm using hobby paint. This is pewter and I think this looks absolutely gorgeous, and so I'm using pewter on this one, and basically just give it one coat. Because it's only a toy, it doesn't have to be. There we go, that's it. Doesn't really need all the stuff you need on the ordinary paint projects because you don't want to lose the detail. So one fine coat of enamel. Let's just take that off. Nice clean edge. That's it. Wheel's done. I'm rather pleased with that. And let that dry. Give it about 4 hours drying time. Maybe 5 before doing the next bit. So as you can see, I've got the parts done. So we can take all the mess out of the way. And I've just sprayed them. I've just given them a coat. I haven't done the reverse side. That's what they originally looked like. That's what they look like now. I don't need to do the reverse side because it's not going to be seen. But what you need for this one is a sponge. A dry sponge, a very dry sponge. A little bit of water and some blackboard paint. This is ordinary blackboard paint that you can use, and a brush. So just open that up. There we go. Use the lid, put a dab of blackboard paint on the lid. Take your water, one dab of water on the lid. Let's do 2 actually. Just water it down ever so slightly. And what you can do is you're just going to basically dab this into all the little nooks and crannies. So you just dab it in, let it find its own way. Just into all the little nooks and crannies. That's what you're doing. Get it in there, get it messy. Don't worry about neatness. Let it find its own way. What you don't want it to do is to dry out too quick. So a little bit more water. Get it into all those little... I always do this on the small parts, so nothing big. Just get it in there. That's it. Make it sure it's all splodging in the corners, it's all still wet. And take your dry sponge and do that. Just get as much excess as possible. Dab it out, use another dry bit. Just do that. So basically what you've done is, this is called a wash, is you've let basically all the paint go into the nooks and crevices and it'll settle there. Try and get the sponge as dry as possible. Having a cloth to hand would... oh, I've got a towel, hold on. Just clean it off. And when you're happy with it, just leave it. Just leave it to dry for about a day. I've got a spare sponge, we'll do it. This is absolutely clean sponge. Just give it a clean. That's it, just leave it like that. And you should come up with effects like that. This is after it's dried. And it just gives you that slightly metallic steel industrial look. What you can do is then take some silver paint and highlight it, dry brush it. But I don't think that's needed in this one. I'm quite pleased with those. Right, that's it, all done. Just wait for the wheel to dry. Good 4 hours, then I'll do exactly the same with the wheels as of what I've done with the part I've just shown you. Anyway, as you can see, I've done all the other parts. I particularly like these ones. These ones have come out alright. Anyway, that was a pretty nice, nasty one to do, but I like it. It looks faded and grey. But we'll let them dry, and then we've got to do the main body. So, see you next time. Have a good one. Bye, YouTube.